What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah. Woo! Man, we're getting ready 1 week till the NFL season starts, man. Cannot wait. I know that there's a lot of you out there that are waiting and seeing, ready to have a lot of your drafts this weekend. Last weekend was a lot of my drafts, 4 to be exact. And I'm going to run through those rosters real quick, and I want to talk about, since you already know that this podcast is all about knowing your league's scoring. And that is the easiest thing to do, but so many people overlook. And people do look at it, but do you really design your team for that? I don't think so. I think honestly that a lot of other experts in this industry sway a lot of y'all off of what should be geared towards your league settings, and then you lose. Guess what? That's what I do. I prey on people. I always make sure that I'm at the top of almost every draft and every league I do. How does that happen? Yeah, maybe some of it's luck, and they just go, "Hey, he'd override. You're lucky." Nah, I'm a Jedi. Oh yeah, man, I'm the macho Jedi. Yeah, but at the same time, we're gonna start off with my team that was number one, but now number three, but now gonna be number one again. Machos Hichiatos kept Josh Allen, right? Ended up with Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, Drake London. Now remember that we went from 14 teams to 12 teams because 2 teams couldn't cut it. And I was the third overall pick. So therefore, I had the 10th pick. And this was a linear draft, not a snake draft. Snake drafts are for people that like to stay in elementary school. Linear drafts are for all of us college people that play fantasy football. Well, you know what I'm saying, right? All of us graduates. I'm sorry if I just offended half, maybe half, more than half. But when your numbers in all of your draft strategies come off a snake draft, nah, that don't work in my book, bro. And the thing is that I'm not really trying to call anybody out, but I am going to call you out because guess what? I'll bring the pain, right? Look, you guys always get that little fancy, oh, I get the 12th pick and the 13th pick overall. Yeah. Why don't you try the 12th pick and the 24th pick overall in a row? I weighed in on this on my last podcast, and it is fact that a lot of people who snake draft cannot linear draft. Call me out. Why don't you prove me wrong? Who are you out there? Because I don't hear you talking nothing, but I am speaking nothing but the facts. And this is the why I will show you. So, Drake London, Rasheed Rice, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram. What? Wait a minute. What? Hussein Oluokun, TJ Watt, Steelers defense, Dicker the kicker, Hopkins, Shakir, Levis, Cooks, Charbonnet, Ray Davis. What's so special about this team, right? Well, again, this is with a bunch of keepers, only one keeper in this year, but at the same time, everybody, especially my league manager, Keith, was enamored to make this a tight end premium. However, I don't know if he was really watching. Usually, with tight end premiums, they go after the catches, and that's where it goes. So he put their catch at full point for tight ends, and the running backs and wide receivers are still at 0.5. So, but this league historically is a quarterback league. So me having Josh Allen right now, Josh Allen, now this will be his project is 30 points, right? But here's the funny thing. So Josh Allen last year scored 474 points under this league's formats. This year, he is projected 383. That's probably a little more in line with what reality can be, but that's not my fact. The fact is right here, we'll roll over to running back. Josh Jacobs, 220 in 2023 for this league. He is predicted 255. Now, it is a scoring league, so let's go to Drake London. 148 last year, 192. Well, hey, Rob, you have a sorry ass receiver. Well, guess what? He ain't Michael Crabtree. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to roll over to Sam Laporta, and I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to tell you why. But before I do that, and I get to the other three teams that I'm going to read off real fast, I want you to understand why you need to know your league settings. So when I go to one of the bigger teams that has somebody like Justin Jefferson, right? Justin Jefferson had 187 points in this league. He is only predicted 246. So he's practically predicted what Josh Jacobs is going to do. Yet Josh Jacobs had more. Nobody likes him. And I'm getting Josh Jacobs in the 9th, 8th, 7th round. Like, what is wrong with all of you? Again, running back is more important in some of these leagues, and you are not understanding it. But you said, hey, Rob, you're a tight end league. Ooh, what tight ends do you have? At 1 point per reception, and them being the only ones, here's where the fatal flaw and the flaw that I exploited. I wish I could have drafted 3 tight ends, because I'm telling you, I would have drafted 3 tight ends. He doubled the yards. So instead of getting your normal 0.1 every 10 yards and, you get 100, you get 10 yards, you get a point. He did 0.2 for the tight ends. So now a 50-yard game for a tight end counts as a 100-yard game as a wide receiver. You see that? You know what it was. Okay. Alrighty then. Nobody knew about that. I literally, when I started off this draft, I already had Josh Allen, right? So my first pick was Sam Laporta. I didn't care. And then I came back around and, I waited another 2 rounds and I got Evan Ingram. And I'll tell you why I did this. Because last year, so Evan Ingram under last year's format would have scored or did score 329 points in this league. He's predicted 266. The problem with that is that they're not accounting for that he's going to do more touchdowns this year and that he's going to catch about the same things. But when you take those 87 catches and you put the point to them now, that 266 is going to be like 500 points. It's, I mean, not 500, but so overall, he had 787 yards, right? So that now becomes 1,560 yards. We're talking 1,560 yards. And you're going, well, a wide receiver can get that. Well, here's the problem, is that a wide receiver can get that. But at the same time, those games equated to, just listen to this. This is insane. Now, this is Laporta. 14, 17, 20, 18, 9, 15, 14, 25, 6, 9, 14, 31, 43, 9, 29, 18, 31. He's literally scoring as much as a quarterback. Now, that was Ingram, right? Let's go to tight end 1, Laporta, who was on my team last year. They're predicting he had 333 points last year under that format. He's going to score 301 points this year under this format, right? So this is why you got to know your league. Listen to this. 12, 18, 30, 15, 24, 11, 16, 25, 12, 9, 22, 46, 7.2, 34, 7.1, 24, 16. A little more up and down, a little more less froggy. Now, the point is that nobody's going to have these tight ends. And you're thinking, well, a lesser tight end like Ferguson can definitely match that. No, they're not going to. They're really not going to. And my team is going to win again. But the fact is, I went and grabbed both those tight ends because right now, both those tight ends are predicted over 20 points. Josh Allen's predicted 30 points. Najee's 15. Jacobs is 18. Rice is 12. Now, you're sitting here, you're thinking back, like, what is the process? What are you trying to teach us? Again, I'm trying to teach you build. I'm trying to teach you what it takes to get those builds, right? So when you see Justin Jefferson, yeah, 23, 22, 29, 23, right? Bang, out. Then he comes back 11, 27, 8, and 33. That's what you drafted in your first round. Oh, he could do better this year, right? He could do better this year with Sam Darnold. Not really good for you, bro. And everybody's like, oh, he's bulletproof. Last year, Dobbs did a great job, and Nick Mullins did a great job. I'm telling you, if you don't know your league settings, you're going to have a problem. The fact is is that Justin Jefferson is only predicted 16 points per week. In this league, it is hard to score. Mostly the receivers are around 12 or 16. When I did my last podcast where I highlighted the three players and I talked about these players being highlighted, I said that, if you don't hit the 100-yard multiplier in this league, then you're going to be hurting. And most likely the tight ends won't. But the tight ends now become so much more valuable in this league when you get a tight end that can practically, when I talked to you about Evan Ingram and Sam Laporta, there was at least 4 to 5 games each that they scored almost as much as a quarterback. And that's just Josh Allen. When you get down to the other quarterbacks, let's say like, let's pick a lower guy. Like we won't go Herbert or anything like that. So we got Stroud here. We got Geno. Geno's perfect, right? 11, 27, 17, 10, 11, 18, 18, 2, 29, 15, 8, 37, 21, 18, 24. Tight end scoring as much as that. So again, you got to know your league. You really want to make sure that every single stat, it's like this Scott Fishbowl this year, putting in kick returns. So someone like Kyron Williams being announced that he's going to do kick return yards in the Scott Fishbowl becomes very important. Me getting Tommy Callahan late in the round, in the draft, literally late in the draft, kick returning and being one of 2 major targets in Buffalo. Yeah, I said one of 2 major targets. He's going to definitely perform. And the fact that they do 10 point for a kick return touchdown, again, is why you should know your league. Now, I'm going to run off my other 2 leagues, right? So this is my Macho Angeles Brainbringers. Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, DK Metcalf, Evan Ingram, right? So that's just 1 each. Then it goes 3 flex. Cooper Kupp, Shakir, Robinson. I got Nixon. In this league, they promote kick return yards. Keyshawn Nixon is predicted 21 points a game. It's the way it is. EJ Top Speed, 13 points a game. Bears defense, 20. Fairbairn. I'm only giving you. I got Kean Coleman, Jared Goff. I got Jamison Williams, right? I got Bruce Irving, Raiders, Bates, Brisker, Randall Allen. I got Hill from Baltimore, Carr, Rams defense. This league's a little deeper. All right, we're going to roll over to my triple platinum league. That's the other league, right? And this is from the 4th spot. No keepers. Allen, Metcalf, Bijan Robinson, Kincaid, Kyron Williams, Alvin Kamara. I got James Cook, Tank Dell, Chris Godwin. I got Ridley, Stafford, Shakir, Hawkinson, and Chubb. Put them both on my IR. Went and picked 2 more people up. That's how I roll. I'm naughty like that. Jake Moody is my kicker. Buffalo, Detroit. I got Lukun. And it's a double linebacker league. So I got Zaire Franklin. I mean, I can't say anything more than that. Now, my McDonald's league, the one that I talk about that I've been in for 24 years and everything like that, right? So this is me. This was 2 keepers. So my keepers were Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Derrick Henry. Just kind of the best I could really do. I had DK on that team, but it just is it is. So I was picking because I was in 3rd place. I was the number 1 overall team, but I finished 3rd place. I was picking at the end of the draft. I was picking 8. So I ended up with Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Will Levis. So in this league, they make you pick this way. And then after that, I can go drop the extra defense, or I can drop the extra quarterback, and I could add kickers and running backs. It's the way this league has always been. This is another one of those cutthroat leagues too. They actually just moved over to a fab because people were going in when people got hurt and other people were at work, and we were getting their backups. People were getting really salty about that. So I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Chris Olave, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Malik Neighbors, Evan Ingram, Kate Otten, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Devin Singletary, Zach Charbonnet, Brandon Aubrey, Josh Carty, Pittsburgh Steelers defense, Bears defense. I mean, right there, we're looking at it right there. Again, you got to know your league. That's a full point PPR. And so is that, the Yahoo league that I talked about. However, historically, I do credit quarterbacks in that Yahoo league that I was talking about that I got Josh Allen and all those other players. So for me, when I'm looking at my league and I see that, right now, Josh Allen's predicted 42.89 points in that league. That's 13 points up from the other leagues. Now, Metcalf 15, Bijan 23, just to give you kind of an ideal. But when you're okay, so now that I've done a lot of talking and a lot of spitting, and maybe you've kept up, and hopefully I haven't lost you. So thank you. I hope you have got to the site and seen all the bets. We have a lot of future bets going up right now. Tomorrow, I have a future article going up for NFL. Man, there's going to be so many great. I got a rookie for you that 5,500 odds. You got to go to Dr. Roto, use the code word doc so that you can read this article and every other article and read my fantastic bets of the day tomorrow so that you could win some money. Last week hit the home run, took 3 losses, but the home run won more money than I put in. That's all it takes at Dr. Roto. That's why we always are the only DFS site that can prescribe prescriptions. Oh, yeah. So when you break it down and you talk about knowing your league, knowing your roster setup, you have to understand that even if it is a wide receiver driven league or a tight end driven league, that there is still not a lot of tight ends or running backs that you count on. 3 down backs, whatever you want to call them, there's not a lot that you can count on. And you're going to need that extra firepower. The only way you're going to find that firepower is if you dig through the numbers and find those extra credit things, like my Keyshawn Nixon play, right? I think kick return yards is at 0.2 or 0.15. It's 0.15 because I had to take it down because at 0.2, it was insane. These people were like Keyshawn Nixon last year was predicted like 30 points a game. When you're putting out that kind of numbers, you can't last in an IDP. But that's, again, if you know that stat and you take advantage of that stat, then that really helps you. Last year in my one league that I talked about the most at first, which is the Keys League, I had Keyshawn Nixon. He was averaging around 3 points a game just in kick return yards. And when Jair went down, he was able to come in as a starter. He started scoring 12, 13, 14 points easily every single week. And that's big. That's big. Because when you combine that with somebody like Zaire Franklin, who was my linebacker, I was getting 30 right there from my defensive players. And then you throw in my defense, which was solid. I had the Bears at the end of the year, which was sacking. I had the Steelers in that team too. And my kicker was Aubrey. When you put all that together, you're looking at least anywhere from 40 to 60 points. And that's in the league average is 120. So just right there, I'm already halfway at league average. So again, when it comes to your league, knowing your league and understanding that, you got to make sure you look at those rules. If you don't understand them, that's what we're for at Dr. Roto. You could come to us and you could ask us in our Subs Only Discord about which way you should go. All right. Well, I think I said enough, and you need to head there right now because you got any more questions? We got football in 1 week. Get ready because everything's about to explode. Oh, yeah. Have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain to your drafts and know your league.